talking about a-holes. Is that the name of the band?
Yeah. Name of the band's Eric Bolander and These Assholes.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
All right.
Now the podcast has started.
Turn the red light on.
Something in the water taught me how to crawl. Something in the water taught me how to fall. Something in my blood starts to take.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Something in the Water podcast. I'm your host, Sean Clark.
I'm Uncle Dave Griffin. Welcome once again.
Brought to you by Caution Light Media.
Yeah.
And we're here with our guest, Eric Bolander and Seth Murphy.
Hey,
Murphy, right?
Murphy. Yeah.
That's it.
I feel
my
like I
name my
messed
whole
it up
life.
anyway.
All these years.
Good to have y'all.
Thanks for having us down here.
All the
It's
way
great.
from what part of Kentucky are y'all?
Lexington, Kentucky.
Kentucky. That's a nice little trip.
Yeah, it's a good little trip by way of Paducah, Nashville, Athens, and Atlanta. So it's our route.
Is that where y'all played? Did y'all play gigs
so
in each
far.
of those
Yeah.
places on the way down?
Yes, sir.
Good. Well, we're glad to have y'all. And tell us in a few words, or tell the folks out there watching in just a few words, what Eric Bolander is about. What's your music?
In a few words.
Yeah, just a few words.
I think Seth was laughing when you asked me in a few words. I think kind of roots and folk. I'll use those terms a lot. We're an Americana band with country leanings, some bluesy kind of stuff. But I think roots is a good description because it's a lot of the songs I write are very personal. And I have emotional connection to them, and I think roots music kind of has that emotional part to it. Unlike maybe like some pop music where it's just more fun or upbeat.
Yeah, that Americana is a huge umbrella
Sure, yeah.
these days, and
I've been spinning your album. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you so much.
And I heard the new single you had.
Yeah, so the one we recently put out is Montgomery Hill.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you, man.
Nice.
So we had 4 singles come out since last summer, and those are all going to be on a record that will hopefully come out this fall. That's the targeted time frame.
Awesome.
I've noticed that you got quite a few videos out there as well, YouTube,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it always strikes me, and the videos are very professionally done. Usually sponsored by a venue or maybe even a retailer or something. Is that typically how you get such good quality videos? I mean, you're not having to fork out money for all those videos.
Some of the stuff I've hired, film crews. So like the song Ghost, we did at the Ohio State Reformatory, which is the prison in Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, it was a super cool opportunity.
Yeah.
But we had a film crew, some friends of ours out of Lexington, render 13 films and had them go up with us. And then we had our friend Chris come out and film down in Harlan County, Kentucky for the Cold Men video. And then I directed that and edited it and put it out. So just hired him to spend the day with us and film. Mm-hmm. So obviously that's less costly if I'm going to do the editing myself. But and then there's some others like Summer Sessions is a series that our friend Nate does out of Somerset, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
And it's super pro. It's pro audio, pro video, and it's all part of the Summer Sessions, and they retain some sponsorships and things.
Cool.
So not directly funded or sponsored, so to speak, but definitely some avenues video wise. There's some community folks involved. Yeah.
Cool. Seth, what do you do in the group?
I play cello. So Eric and I met, I don't know, we're counting back maybe 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. We ended up being neighbors, just like living down the street from each other, not even knowing it. So met at a gig, one night in Lexington, musician friends introduced us, and just, started doing a few gigs here and there, figuring out how to fit in the instrument, because it's a different instrument.
Yeah.
It's not something, you see all the time.
Not ordinarily.
Yeah. But I've really enjoyed, like, I have a, big classical orchestra background, but I hit a certain point in my life where that wasn't appealing to me anymore. Playing with like another 40 or 60 people on stage, I kind of wanted to do my own thing, and or help somebody else do their thing. So Eric and I have been working at it for a few years now, and I think I've figured out a good sonic spot for the instrument in the songs that we're putting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the studio as well, So he does a lot of different things on the stage and plays different melodies or different parts in a live setting, just because it calls for something different. If we're just a trio or just the two of us as a duo, then he'll probably play quite a bit different than when we add our buddy John on keys or bass. And then so it kind of changes the way, kind of keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, and whatever the audience is too, we change up the show. We'll play some like more kind of traditional folk, Americana, softer acoustic leaning stuff. But we carry a Telecaster and a Fender tube amp with us too, and can open it up if the.
Do you play anything other than cello?
Yeah, I'll bring bass on the stage as well. So play electric bass, acoustic bass, and just kind of fit.
Cello's tuned exactly like, or is it?
It's tuned in fifths, so it's kind of like that same intervals as a fiddle or violin.
Okay.
And then it doesn't quite go as low as a bass guitar and stuff. But I play it both ways, like with a bow, and I'll play some melody lines, or we'll bring it down and do some plucked stuff too, and play it like an upright bass, for sure. So very sonically diverse instrument. It's fun.
But they are they lend certain emotional, very emotional instrument. And
sure,
I love it. I love.
A lot of people say it's
cello
like
orchestra.
Second to the human voice, like the cello's the one that can emote.
Yeah,
that way.
I mean, it's always been. I mean, from some of the earlier times I've heard string music, cello has been one of my favorite instruments. So I kind of wanted to hear some cello in my music. When I put my first solo record out, before I'd met him, I had a friend put viola on a song and fiddle on another song, because she didn't know cello that well. She was an orchestra director, but cello was a weak point for her. She did violin and viola. So I had that, and then when I met him through our friend Derek Spencer, and that's when we kind of chatted. I was like, well, I'd really like to have some cello, see how it sounds, and we jam. Yeah, and Ben, our drummer Ben Caldwell, I had been in a sort of hard rock metal band with him years ago, so I got him pulled back in because I didn't have him on this project yet either during my first record.
Right.
So really still trying to figure out what my sound was, what songs I was writing that wasn't part of my rock band, and things like that. And then once Seth and Ben were like, yeah, man, let's do this, and we got somewhat serious about it, it started to make more sense how the songs sounded. And then I had a whole new plot of songs written, and we got together, and that's what The Wind is the product of us being together as a band. So that's technically our first record together.
Awesome.
Should be that one.
Cool. So you're in a hard rock band too?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know this.
Kind of metal, hard rock. When we were in the band, I used to say hard rock. And now looking back, I was like, there's a little more metal leanings than I probably realized.
And that's still the band?
Modern Day Relic was the name of that band.
What's the name of your current band?
My current rock and roll band's called Alcatraz Shakedown.
Okay.
we don't play very often. We all stay busy. Everybody's got careers and families, and then of course I've got this music stuff going on. But we play a couple times a year and throw some songs out there. So,
You guys were supposed to open for Kiss last year, I thought, right? Or
was
something?
it? No, it was Ace Frehley.
Yeah.
It was his solo tour. It was funny. It was at one of those old prisons, kind of like the Shawshank one, but it was one that was down in Tennessee. It's like something like Middle Tennessee Penitentiary or something like that. This is really one of those really old, cool looking prisons. It was going to be there, and this was pre-pandemic. This is like fall of 19. We were like so bummed because it got canceled due to some conflict or whatever. I was like, oh, that would have been fun.
Been badass.
Acoustics in them old prisons is pretty damn good.
Spooky.
Yeah, well, I think the shows are like in the parking lot, big stage with the prison back as a backdrop. I don't think they tried to like. I doubt they would allow a bunch of drunk people go to a rock show and hang out in the historic building. Probably.
Probably scared what you might find.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true
in the
too.
malls.
For catch.
Can uncover something in there.
Demons.
Yeah. Well, if you were, I know he said, Seth, that you and Ben met each other and worked together on that recording and all. And Ben was a drummer in the heavy metal band, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
So I've known him
could
for a
you
long
take
time.
that cello and raise hell on it one time, like
yeah.
heavy metal?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
could do that, couldn't you?
The only other time that I've been down here, I was with a group on our way to South by Southwest in
Yeah.
Austin, and it was kind of like a female-fronted gothic rock band. So it
No
was some like
kidding.
real heavy, slow stuff. It was fun. It was
that the Search
loud.
one?
No, that was a group called Ancient Warfare.
Oh, the Ancient Warfare. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
They put on put out one record.
Yeah.
It's a good, interesting project. Lost some hearing in that project for sure. It was loud.
Who was the group that came here and played at the Creek that time with the?
20 Watt Tombstone.
Is that the guy that stood
2-piece guitar.
stood on the cello or the bass
No.
or something? Put it on his behind his head.
Tornado Rider.
Tornado Rider.
Oh, I
You
know
ever heard of him?
Tornado. Yeah, that's Rashad Eggleston
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
Nice.
was down at Live
Hang from the
Oak a lot.
rafters playing a cello.
oh yeah.
Hang from the
Hey, man.
rafters. Yeah.
No, he's a hero
get
of
some
mine for
rigging.
sure.
Yeah. Take some
He's got
rigging
like a
on tour.
Robin Hood
Yeah.
hat and like tights, like
Yeah.
and the like
Yeah.
shirtless and with cello. Like
Need to take notes.
No, he's great. He did. I saw him do a solo spot opening for Old Crow Medicine Show, and they were up there setting up everything, and he was doing a solo thing with wireless packs. And he started climbing the truss on the
Yeah.
stage and everything else, and
Nuts.
yeah.
What's with
Performer.
this guy?
He's from a different planet, maybe universe.
even the words they write are like his own language that he come up with. Some kind of
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Well, as silly as he is, he's an excellent cello
Oh,
player.
yeah.
He's a Berkeley graduate.
Yeah.
He was in that group, Crooked Steel. He's the
Yeah,
cello
I
player.
remember you talking about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I recognize his name.
He was in a
Solid
car
player.
commercial or something where he was playing with. He had a tuxedo on. I think it was two guys, him and another guy.
Did he score a commercial? for
Yeah,
this?
in the desert, and like this car's doing donuts around him or whatever.
I need to look that one up.
Yeah, we need to find that. It'd be a good road video.
Yeah. Drop it in the chat. There. That's good.
So where's Lexington at in Kentucky? Is that
It's central Kentucky,
right in the,
just south of
in the middle?
Cincinnati. Yeah.
Okay.
And Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville for the non-Kentucky folks
Okay.
is west of Cincinnati along the river. So it's kind of a little triangle between Cincinnati, Louisville, and Lexington. It's all about the same distant, hour and a half-ish to each city. So right around there. Most people know of Louisville and know of Cincinnati. So that's usually what I say. Now, I grew up in northeast Kentucky in the foothills of Appalachia.
Wow.
And Seth is from Paducah, in western Kentucky.
Yeah, it's kind of like the confluence of the rivers there where Kentucky, Missouri, Tennessee, and Illinois all meet. So it wasn't a big deal to go to Illinois or Missouri for a weekend, see what's happening.
What
there.
is the river up there? The main one? Is it the Ohio River?
Ohio is on the north and goes
What
over
about,
to the Mississippi, goes north and south, I guess, right? There's a Missouri River too, but I can't remember if it.
What about coming from the east? Is there
of Kentucky?
yeah, is there anything major there? Or what's the next state over to the east? Is it Pennsylvania?
West Virginia
West Virginia.
and North Carolina.
And what's right above West Virginia?
Ohio.
Ohio?
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Let's just pull up a map.
I know, right?
Yeah, it
We don't
just
teach
something's in
Dave
the water.
geography.
it gets away
Geography
from
lesson.
it gets away from me after so
Really
long.
poor geography.
When you've been out of school for a long time, you just forget all about that stuff.
You just got something in your
States.
pocket to tell you where to go. You know. You don't
Yeah,
need to know where
it's
these
easy. Here, let me
states
just click something. That's where we're at right now.
I'm right here. You're right there.
The northeast states get so jumbled, and I was like, I don't know.
are. Yeah.
I was just
They get
up
smaller.
there.
Yeah.
Well, we were both just up there for a wedding of a friend. He lives in Maine now. Is marrying a girl from Massachusetts, so we got to go up there. And
But you could take Highway 1 all the way there, apparently, if you wanted.
I officiated the wedding, and Sean played the
Bachelor dinner. Was that what they call it?
the rehearsal, and then the after
Very
wedding
cool.
thing. And we got to fly into Boston and drove down to Rhode Island, spent a week there with my wife's cousin, then did a lot of sightseeing around there. But those states are all right there.
Yeah.
It's just like mass. I mean, it takes an hour and you're somewhere else, you know.
Yeah,
Georgia's a big old state down here.
it is.
It's a tall one.
It's
Kentucky's a
tall
wide
state.
one.
Florida,
Yeah,
too.
Kentucky's
is
a long one.
state.
Yeah.
Kentucky's wide.
Yeah.
But we're making our way through Georgia.
Cruising
Day at a
on
time.
down, one day at a time.
Y'all played last night?
Yeah, we played last night at Smith's Old Bar in Atlanta. And then we played the night before at a place called the Iron Factory in Athens. It's just a couple doors down from the 40 watt.
Cool.
Played on the patio. It was a fun show, yeah.
I'm headed to Athens tomorrow to play a thing.
Yeah,
Cool.
Seems
That's
like they're
cool.
just kind of like getting started with having shows
Opening stuff
again.
up.
We played with. There were 5 total bands on the bill there, and I think 3 of them it was their first show of the year. You know, since.
Mhm.
So that was cool. You know, seeing
Yeah.
people coming out again, seeing live music, having people playing again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Touring again.
Yeah. They're like,
You
oh
know.
wow, there's people coming through Athens, coming through Georgia.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Like
I'm
it's-
excited to be
It's happening.
back
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, I'd like to see is the theater back open? Did y'all notice?
No, I think they got dates in August.
Yeah, even
Something
the
like that. It's starting-
even the
it's gonna
40
start.
watt, yeah, it said we're gonna start booking in August. So holding out through the summer. So I guess maybe I don't know, maybe like Athens more of a college town too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's got the university.
it's right there.
UGA.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bunch of like it seemed like it was a bunch of 18-year-olds out to our show. It was a different audience for
It
sure.
totally was.
We played with our friend Robert Schneider. He's from a totally different kind of divergent genre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indie pop,
Indie
music.
pop.
indie alternative pop kind of.
What's he bring to the table with you?
Oh, John was in that band with Rob.
Oh,
and-
okay.
and so he and Rob does this duo as well.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they'll play. They're in a band called Apples and Stereo.
Okay,
And,
yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty popular band for sure, and they still have like pretty devout fans, and but so they all set the show up, and then
Cool.
John plays with us. He's the 4th member, the 4th a-hole. Well, I guess technically the 3rd a-hole.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not one of the a-holes.
John's a great keyboard player. He's a multi-instrumentalist as well. When we first brought him on, we were giving him everything.
Yeah,
Like here's
a
keyboard,
guitar, here's a-
acoustic guitar, electric, bass, backup vocals. He does those like super high, like Beach Boy vocals and stuff. He can hit all that stuff.
Yeah, so my drummer Ben sang with me for years. So when they're both singing the harmonies in the background, it's great. It's such a cool blend, and it really offers a lot to the live show. I mean, that's any type of music. You hear a harmony, backup singing, it's all of a
love
sudden
harmony.
like it takes like if you see a band and you hear really good harmonies, you're like, oh, okay, these guys are pretty pro, instantly, even if they're not that great necessarily, it adds that extra level of professionalism to your sound.
Yeah.
That sauce.
The sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always loved harmony groups.
Dave's a great harmony singer.
Nice.
And
So
singer.
you were talking about A-holes. Is that the name of the band?
Yeah. Name of the band's Eric Bolander and These Assholes.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
All right.
Now the podcast has started.
Turn the red light on.
So
the red light on.
So I talked a little briefly about the history of us getting together, the main trio, me, Ben, and Seth. So we were playing the first time we played Red Barn Radio in Lexington. It was about 2018 or 7, whenever it was. They had been giving me a hard time about getting a band name. Not like being pushed. It was kind of a running joke. Like, man, you ever gonna give us a name or whatever? And then I'm not exactly sure what was said, but I said something along the lines of, "You guys don't have to be assholes about it." And one of them, and I don't even think either one of them will claim, like, it's either you or Ben, was like, "These assholes." And then somebody wrote it on the match book or a
Yeah, we were at the
bar napkin.
We did the gig. We were at the bar next door, just hanging out after the show. I said, "Okay, I'll start making us some merch." And then we grabbed some matches from behind the bar and wrote Eric Bolander and these assholes on it.
So for a surprise, I got a logo designed by Jimbo Valentine, who's awesome. He's done my album artwork and several other things. The circular logo.
Man, I was looking at the album covers and they're great.
Thank you. So I had him do it and I don't even remember if I told you guys about it, but I remember getting shirts ordered. And it was going to be like a one-off thing. We're playing this cool festival in Eastern Kentucky called Kicking It on the Creek. And it was coming up. And I was like, well, I'm going to get these for that. I'll do like 50 of them. And we'll just do that.
It was just a joke, though.
It's like oh, this is funny merch thing.
A one-off.
And then everybody wanted one. I mean, I did like 20-some pre-orders. So I was like, what? Okay. It's like, it's not like I'm that popular, right? So I was like, okay, I guess I'll order a few more. And then we get to the festival and sold a crap ton of them. So I was like, well, I guess that's our logo. And that stuck as the name.
That's awesome.
Kind of.
It's on the kick drum head, yeah.
It's on the kick drum head. But it's all social media, Spotify and everything else. Like, it's just Eric Bolander. But the unofficial official name,
when you roll into town,
is These Assholes.
These assholes are here in Waycross.
Do you ever have any places that have an issue with that?
Well, virtually yes, because Facebook specifically, when you do do an ad or you sponsor for your promo, even if it's on an image, profanity, they'll boot it. They won't allow it to happen. So what we've done, either put a-holes in the description of events, or just Eric Bolander or Eric Bolander Band, Eric Bolander Trio. Gotcha. And I'll work with whoever. Like, I mean, I'm not, it's not gonna be that big a deal if it's the show poster has to be different, but yet, that's what we introduce ourselves as, and the merch has it on it. So I do have some merch with just Eric Bolander, so that way the mamals out there can buy him a t-shirt.
I want one of your shirts, but I can't wear that.
Yeah, I can't wear that.
I can't wear this to church.
Yeah, I don't want to. That's exactly what they said the other day. They're like, I don't want to buy this and then accidentally wear it to church. Like, knowing me, I'm out to do it.
What band t-shirt am I wearing to church this Sunday?
This is my grandson's group.
Yeah. But I mean, the cool thing about it is that what started as a joke is turned into like this sort of talking point, it's like people were like, oh, that's hilarious, how did that come to be, or whatever, and people walk up to the merch table and they see it and they just start busting out laughing, but then it like connects them with it's like totally give me one of them shirts. It's not really like trying to be kitschy or whatever, right? It's just fun.
It is. People like to cuss.
Totally fun.
Most people do. It's like
I got kid sizes of this unicorn, flying unicorn that my tattoo artist designed for me, and at the bottom it's got Eric Bolander, And then real tiny, it says, "And these assholes." Sad toddler sizes made. My little girl has one of the shirts. And I sent her to soccer camp with it, on. But it was one of the days my wife picked her up. So I was like,
She wasn't happy.
She's like, "Did you really put this shirt on?" Oh, you can't read it. It's tiny.
Well, so that's how you feel about being an asshole.
Hey, I don't have any problems, you know.
It just kind of fell right into it.
Yeah.
It's natural for him, really.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part of the joke is that people meet my bandmates and become friends with them. They're like, yeah, they're definitely not assholes.
Right,
They're
right.
like really nice dudes.
Yeah. I had a question for you.
Drum roll.
We'll be right back. Dave, 3 hours later.
Tall sound. Sponsored by Tall Sound. There it is. Question of the day.
Who's that on your hat, Dave?
That's Cole Chaney. I think I'm wearing Cole Chaney. Yeah. Cole Chaney, man, he's killer. He's a real young
Cole
dude,
Chaney.
songwriter, country roots. Really
Where's
good.
he out of?
Kentucky.
Kentucky also.
He
Mercy.
lives in Lexington, I believe. Mercy's the name of his record or the new song. I think it's his record that came out.
Okay.
But
he
yeah,
just
he's
popped up this year.
yeah, he's young, 20, 21, something like that
Wow.
maybe, or right around like a college age. He's doing great stuff, writing really cool songs and getting out there, getting on some good shows.
I
and-
think I saw him. The name hasn't stuck yet, but I
Yeah.
keep seeing this young guy from up there.
yeah.
We did a
Might be
great festival. Was it 2 weeks ago now? Laurel Cove.
Yeah, Laurel Cove Music Festival.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a gathering of all Kentucky area songwriters. I mean there were damn near 40
It has a lot, 2 days
People.
full.
playing. A lot of up and coming, a lot of established ones as well. Had our friends Sunday Best and Nick Jamerson headline one night.
We know Nick Jamerson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
He's a good friend of ours, man.
We
He's
do
awesome. He's a great guy.
Before the pandemic, we were like every year had this festival on Del Holla Lake in Kentucky.
Del Holler.
Yeah, he was
yeah.
I was
Talking about
telling
that, yeah.
Seth about that before we
That's
started.
Del Holler in Kentucky.
Del Holla.
Holla.
It's what we call it too.
That's right. That's right.
But
We were saying Del Holler if you swaller.
when you
We'll be
swallow.
right back.
Del Holler.
The last time we were there, we met some new people from, may have been from Lexington or Louisville.
Yeah.
Brother Smith.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
blonde.
Brother Smith,
These two blonde.
Oh yeah, they're
kids.
they're our real,
Remember
they're
them?
our good
You ever
buddies of
jammed
his.
out?
The fiddle player
player,
came
yeah.
down to our boat.
They jam.
yeah?
They jam with us.
Yeah, he
a lot.
sits in with us a lot. Aaron,
Aaron.
the fiddle player.
Yeah.
He's
And Wes too.
excellent.
Like they've
Yeah.
sat in with
I
us.
mean,
We've played so many shows with those guys.
They
We're
blew
really
me away. That
really good
weekend.
friends.
Yeah.
They're probably, in all honesty, no offense to ourselves and our friends, the most talented group in
They were
Central
good,
Kentucky
man. They were
and
good.
that the whole region. It's just the players in when they do the full band, just the brothers themselves are great. Like when they do the full band, they're all like very professional, but also like very in the moment and very into the music, which I think makes a humongous difference.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care how many degrees you have, like if they're not feeling it together. But man, Brother Smith.
You were
yes,
saying the
up
other
there.
day, like having them as your backing band, it's like having a cheat
It's like a
code.
cheat-
to a
yeah.
video
I forgot
game.
I said that. Yeah, I was like having Brother Smith in your band because they back Nick Jamerson up a bunch.
They do, yeah.
So anyway, I was like having Brother Smith in your band's like having cheat codes for video games. Like, it's not fair.
You're
They're
just
playing
gonna-
like
you're gonna
the
win.
all Madden team on the Madden
Yeah,
football.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, man, you can't play. You can't use the Chicago Bulls. You can't use the '95 Chicago Bulls. Yeah, they're excellent, but they couldn't be better human beings.
Yeah.
which makes them even
Yeah.
cooler.
Yeah, Nick was there too. Did you say that?
Nick.
Yeah, Nick's great, man.
Nick's-
Chris, his partner was Sunday Best. Chris Bentley's great. They're all like,
There
solid.
was a few more. There was
Levi Lowry, y'all probably knew him.
Cody Ray Bates. Is that
I don't.
name?
Those two
jump out
don't
at
ring
you?
a bell.
Levi plays fiddle. He used to play
Levi, what's his last
Levi
name?
Lowry. He's
From Kentucky.
Decula, Georgia. He's
From down here. Okay.
yeah, he's about 30 minutes outside.
Oh, okay.
I
Athens.
was just bringing him out because he played this thing, but he does.
Got you.
He used to play with Zach Brown.
Oh wow, that was a big gig.
He's at a level.
Yeah,
up there.
he's
got a
that's
following,
up
a
there.
huge following.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I know every state and every region's got their, talented musicians. I mean, I'm pretty proud of like the circle of music friends we have back home, man. We have, so many. Like
Well,
we
that's
mentioned
what
Derek
struck
Spencer
me.
earlier. He's great. And then Sean Whiting's a good friend of ours, rock and roll guys, great songwriter. Our buddies, laid back country picker. He's incredible. And there's just so many that are. Abby Hamilton, she's singing on one of the songs on the new record.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a ton of people that are just constantly rolling out there.
Just like us down here.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody's got their,
it's got the same thing.
And when you're
you know?
in the region, you're kind of up on it,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's
That's-
nice to have that.
Yeah, it felt
community.
like that when we were up there in Kentucky.
That's great.
Just meeting Nick and then meeting the Smith guys. You could feel that familiarity and that familial sense of
Man,
coming together
and it ain't
everything,
bullshit.
supporting
Like
one another.
the brotherhood, sisterhood that we all develop up there. I mean, it's great. Like Seth has played in so many different projects too, and recorded on stuff, and it's just there's no I don't know.
Yeah, anytime there's a festival, it's guaranteed that 6 or 7 people are going to get up with other bands and
Yeah,
play with them.
Yeah, because they've been friends for years and
Yeah.
we've jammed before, and it's
Yeah, you never get a chance to.
You don't get a
Here you
chance to,
are.
and
Yeah, it's good.
it's great, man. And I
same
love
way
that
down
more
here,
so
yeah.
than I've been around scenes in general that have that clicky kind of vibe.
Yeah, but they won't.
And some would argue there's certain cliques wherever and
Yeah.
whatever. But for me, I feel like we all kind of help lift each other up.
Yeah.
Because that's the way you're going to grow it. That's the way you're going to grow it.
Yeah, you can't do the band wars.
Yeah,
shit,
it's silly.
Stupid.
It happens. I get it. People just
Yeah.
are weird about stuff. But man, I want to name drop, man. People
Yeah.
that I want to name drop people that or name drop those that other people don't have any clue about, don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit and be like, oh yeah, we opened up for the Steel Drivers. Be like, well, if you listen to this kind of music, you probably know the Steel Drivers. I want to be like, talk about my friends that like Brother Smith, right? Like
Yeah.
people that are less known in the area, get more people to listen to them because they deserve it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. This business is hard enough as it is, Seems like
Yeah.
it makes things go a lot smoother when you work together.
That's venues,
Prop
everybody.
each other up.
Bartenders, like, don't be a dick to a bartender.
Right.
They might be working there next time you play there.
I'm super nice to bartenders.
And they ain't gonna forget that, dude, because their job sucks bad enough in terms of dealing with bad people, or misbehaved people.
Yeah, they see
They got to deal with the drunk of everybody,
they see Eric Bolander and these assholes are coming to play tonight. They're like, oh man,
great.
I'm gonna have to wear some thick skin.
Oh, this is great.
And then this guy, yeah. Then we show up and then
we're like, oh, okay.
oh, it's a comedy show. Okay.
Yeah, just part comedy. Somebody, what was it? Oh, Jonathan Newsom. He does the Capture Kentucky and does like show reviews and things like that. And he mentioned my introduction was because I'm also a high school visual arts teacher too.
Oh.
So he's like, art teacher, musician, part-time comedian, and dad. I was like, I don't know about part-time comedian, but I try to be funny sometimes. But I'm no comedian, I guess.
How many kids you got?
One little
Just a
girl,
little girl?
named Ava Kate.
Ava Kate. And she's
Notice we turned on Ava Lane or
3 or
Street or
4?
whatever it was. 4.5, yeah.
4.5.
Going on 40.
Yeah.
She called you before the.
Yeah. She called me. My wife called me so little Ava could tell me Happy Father's Day. So Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're filming this on Father's Day. It'll come out in a few weeks. But
Yeah. And to the moms who are pulling both duties.
yeah. Sweet. She was showing you a drawing that she'd done.
Oh yeah, she made me a little
A
card.
card?
She put all these stickers and stuff, glued all this stuff on there. Yeah, she loves it. She likes art, man. She loves just making stuff, putting stuff together and that kind of stuff. It's kind of nice to see. And music.
You
She
settled?
likes music.
You settle too, or you just on your own?
Just being the cello for right now.
Just you and cello?
No, I got a great girlfriend back home. No kids. Got a foster
Got a
dog
puppy.
that I
Got a puppy.
inherited through this pandemic situation.
Okay.
So he's about 80 pounds now, and continues to grow. But yeah, Lexington, Kentucky's a good home base for us for sure. Eric mentioned there's a lot of great places nearby, and yeah, we're getting down to Georgia, playing Atlanta. Like it's not too far off either. Like we've had a good week, good run so far. Happy to be down here.
Was it 10-hour drive for us from here to Del Hollow?
That sounds about right.
Probably something like that.
10 hours.
I made it from Lexington to New Orleans in 12 hours.
Yeah, that's about what it is from here to New Orleans for
It's
us.
not, yeah.
So how long y'all gonna be on the road this time?
Through next weekend.
Next weekend?
So we got a few days off. We're going to go hang out in Panama City a couple days and maybe be beach bums, play our instruments for some change or something.
Yeah.
And then
So
head
this
over.
is summer break for you.
Yeah.
From
So
your
it
teaching job.
affords me a lot of time to tours. I do a lot of solo stuff too, but
Yeah.
always if I can budget it and you know and get my guys with me, I try my best to do that. Hopefully more with the coming months, but yeah, I'm excited to be on the road again.
Is this
Played-
y'all's first tour post pandemic?
Yes.
Right now?
We've done a couple weekend things where,
Yeah, 2 or 3
a day
days
drive
out,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. A couple weekends here and there, but and we've been pretty careful about
Well, I guess-
early on. But now that folks are vaccinated and we're all vaccinated, and I feel more comfortable about
Yeah.
having a crowd. Less about myself, more about last year it's like we'd played a few shows, but it was outdoors. People, I felt comfortable with it versus like 100 people in a smoky bar. I'm like, I don't want to. Hey, everybody has their own opinions.
Right.
I just didn't feel comfortable contributing to anything. So,
Right.
so I laid off a whole lot. We did a couple pro live streams, 2 or 3 of those over the course of everything.
We did one at a castle. That was fun.
Yeah, there's a castle in Versailles, Kentucky, which is neighbors Lexington. Most people think it's in Lexington. A lot of people just refer to it as Lexington, but yeah, this castle, we did it.
What is it? Arnold Schwarzenegger tried to buy it at one point?
I know somebody like that.
What's the history of that?
To the castle. So I don't know. I mean, it's not like castle remains that somebody brought over from Europe or nothing. It's just somebody built a damn castle out in this field, and then it burned down. Somebody else bought it and like redid it. Now it's a hotel / upscale restaurant,
It's like a
event
spa.
space. Yeah,
But they do
spa.
lots of concerts there too.
Yeah, they do stuff on the roof.
Yeah.
They have a ballroom. Then we played in they call it the greenhouse. It's this huge thing in the backyard of it. But yeah, it was super fun. So it was cool. We played in there on Valentine's Day. That was fun.
Well, y'all probably pretty excited to get back out again.
Yeah,
This
totally,
being your
man.
first-
And to meet folks like you
real
guys
tour.
and like do this kind of stuff and and
Been a weird year. God almighty.
yeah. And I'm ready
A
to
lot of ups and
put
downs.
as much of it behind as I can.
Yeah.
I think everybody is, but I've always been a glass half full for the most part. I can be a curmudgeon about some things, I guess, but just like, man, let's just, be positive about it and let's make it less political and
Really,
make it
who would
more,
have thought we'd
just
be
make it more
here
about
right now?
being
Yeah, why's it gotta
kind
be
to each
political?
other,
Yeah.
just like, okay, well, hey, if the business says wear a
It's
mask,
amazing.
throw it on
It's-
there and do your thing and
Just do it.
yeah, you know what I mean? But like be part of it. Don't be put
glad.
out by something. Just be part of helping other people do what they need to do. So I think now that it's in the rear view at least, I think. And more venues are open and I'm excited about that. So yeah, next week we're playing at the Nick in Birmingham. Sidetracks. My buddy that runs it's a really cool guy, but Eddie down in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
The world famous Tid Balls.
There it is, Tid Balls. That's right. That's
Tid
Saturday.
Balls.
So it's in Bowling Green, yeah.
Yeah, Bowling Green,
just
Kentucky.
north of Nashville. So it's like there's this whole kind of indie rock community that migrates out of Nashville and kind of hangs around the Western Kentucky University campus. But there's lots of great indie rock bands like Cage the Elephant, Morning Teleportation, Sleeper Agent, stuff like that.
Like Cage the Elephant basically played Tid Balls like a ton, like kind of getting their start under a different moniker, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, you go in the bathroom there to take a piss, and there's the platinum record.
Yeah, right.
Like,
It's up there or above the bar or somewhere. Yeah, it's in the building. You're like, oh, this is cool. And it's a dive bar, you know. It's a fun spot.
Yeah.
I dig it. I've played there a few times. So hopefully,
Tid Balls.
Tid Balls, yeah.
Tid Balls.
Yeah, that's the guy's name that owns it. It's old John Tidball.
Yeah.
It's an odd one. Yeah. Good guy.
It's a cool place, man. It's a cool bar. We like it.
So from here, y'all are headed to Panama City.
Panama City, hang out a couple days. Probably just hang out on the beach, but we might break the instruments out.
I'm going fishing. I'm gonna catch.
He's going fishing.
Okay.
Catch me ocean fish.
He's gonna go noodle some sharks. Noodling for sharks.
That's our big.
You know, if you have a bunch of Eastern Kentuckians move down to the beach for good, you'd have some old boy out there noodling for the shark.
Noodling for sharks.
I have no doubt.
There's your band
I
name.
promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah, got this today.
Promise. Man, old Jimmy, son, he lost his arm, half his forearm down.
He was noodling. Moray Hill just came right out.
He didn't think the sharks were that big, I guess.
He had chum all over it. Old chum arm.
Yeah, he put blood all over his hand and stuck his hand in there.
Amos Moses.
Love
Left arm gone clean up to the elbow.
that song.
Hell of a song. Yeah.
Shark version.
That's who I was thinking of earlier. The telly picking.
Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed.
Okay. Yeah.
And you said Jerry Lee, and that
he's a
threw me
Georgia
off. It threw me off. I was like, Jerry Lee Lewis.
He was
No,
from around Atlanta.
he's great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amos Moses.
Well, yeah, we were listening to some Graham Parsons stuff coming down here because we knew like this was his home place.
He actually grew up. Let's see where we at now. That way.
That way.
It's like, where are we at in the house?
For those that are listening,
Can
Those that are
anyone,
listening, it's
can
that way.
anyone find a compass? We need a
Dave pointed
compass.
to the back of the wall.
So Graham Parsons used to live in that wall. Wow. Yeah, it's impressive.
About 5 blocks from here, I guess. He used to, where Caution Light Media is now, they lived on Swanee Drive, right across the street, pretty much.
Cool.
So is it a historic site now, or what is it?
Well, the house that he grew up in was picked up and moved to another location. And
The house on that lot now is for sale. So,
how about that?
yeah.
Hey, if anybody's looking, Southern Georgia, come on down. You can live where.
Thinking about selling my
Kinda,
house.
sorta where Graham Parsons
we should,
grew up.
We should go ahead, hurry up and sell my house, and
Graham Parsons
I'll
lot.
live on Graham Parsons' lot.
Yeah.
And
That could be good for your festival.
Yeah.
You just move the podcast over there, I think.
Yeah.
At that point, right?
Think about the inspiration coming out of the ground there. Huh?
We just call it something in the dirt,
Something in the dirt. Something in the dirt.
something in the yard.
It's fire ants. That's what it is.
Yeah, he was Waycross
Y'all's
boy.
ants down here are different.
Yeah.
They're different.
High power.
I think it's crazy that Georgia's state bird is the mosquito. That's pretty crazy.
I thought it was this.
I was in the National Guard too, about 100 pounds and 10-inch beard ago. But we came down to Fort Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, fuck that place. Out in the swamp.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mosquitoes.
Oh
Hinesville.
my God.
Humid
They love
yellow
me too.
jackets.
We have we have bad mosquitoes in Kentucky, and it gets humid there too. Not on your all's level.
You slap these
Not
and they
on-
just get up and
yeah.
shake it off. and
Don't
fly
get
off.
as humid.
I mean,
as
some
it
of them
does
you'll
down
see them
here.
like they'll have little headsets on, like calling in reinforcements.
Yeah.
You know, they're like little lasers marking the area, and then
They look
then
like
the
they
rest
got
of them come
armor
in.
on or something. They got tiger striped aliens or something.
I mean, they were like very adamant about, listen, this is back when we had some of the old school Army stuff, caught with the caught poles, and you had like a skeeter net, you know, and they're like very adamant. Like, listen, put the skeeter net up. We're like, whatever, it's fine. We'll spray ourselves. There ain't enough DEET. You could eat DEET. You could lay in a vat of DEET, and somehow those bastards would get to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if that's part of what this podcast is supposed to be, but
Well,
Georgia mosquitoes, they're different.
they had a name for the ones 2 or 3 years ago that were very active during Swamp Town Get Down. We had to spray really hard that year, and there was a name for them bastards. I can't remember what it was, but there was
Like a different type or something.
yeah, it was a type of mosquito, and they had a name for it and everything.
Why
and-
just that year?
Is it like the cicada, like every 18 years?
Yeah,
I don't know,
18
but
years,
they-
yeah.
They swarmed in with
the
a
killer mosquito.
hurricane or something.
They must have. It was kind of like
Every
a
23
new
years,
breed or
the-
something.
The killer Georgia
They were
mosquito
big
comes out.
and they were bad.
I mean, it's
And
ridiculous.
we did what we could.
Lost a pint of blood at that festival.
I love Georgia, but camping out in the middle of the swamp ain't really my vibe. I don't know that anyone that actually lives in Georgia probably camps out in the swamp. It's just, you know, the
Bear
Army
Grylls,
doesn't really care about you. So they're like, yeah, here's a good place. Throw a poncho or, you know, up right here, and, you know, you'll be all right. You can sleep here out in the wilderness with the mosquitoes.
Bear Grylls did an episode where he tried to make it out of the Okefenokee. He gave up. Like it's yeah, it was because of the mosquitoes.
It's insane.
He was
I'm
covered
not
with-
exaggerating.
He
Like, you
covered
guys are
himself in
from
mud.
here.
He's like, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's the craziest.
Helicopter, like, get me out of here.
That's why I tell everybody it's the state bird. It's the state bird. Whew, buddy.
Yeah,
I've been to Florida, a couple of different places. My in-laws snowbird to Okeechobee every winter. Been down there several times. Gainesville, Tampa, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. They ain't got them Georgia skeeters. I'm telling you,
the prehistoric.
it's different.
swamp.
Yeah, it's like fossils flying around this place.
We got alligators. They're pretty much
I
dinosaurs.
know you mentioned you called Hinesville swamp, you know, but that can't even compare to what is right here.
Oh,
in our
sure.
backyard,
Yeah.
that's-
You know, it's just the limited amount of swampland that's
Yeah.
on Fort Stewart.
yeah.
It's not a whole lot, but it's enough for the moisture to be there for the skeeters.
Okefenokee is probably about 5 miles out the highway.
Yeah.
And boy, you right in the thick of
Just
it.
the-
You getting
nothing
you
but
getting
the
in the
swamp.
north end of it right there, and
Wow.
it just gets
Yeah.
deeper and deeper and deeper.
So can we find some gators here?
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
you can see gators just about.
Will they be on the side of the road and stuff, or like
not really, but
you
you'd
drive
have to get into it.
down.
Yeah.
There's a long road that goes to Okefenokee Swamp Park, and then there's a parking lot, and then on the sides of the parking lot is water and gators. No fence. Just
Yeah.
And you don't have to.
We were
pay
in
at
the guard
that
heading
point either.
down
You can
to
just-
Fort
you
Stewart.
just
We were at a
drive
truck
out there and
stop,
park.
South Carolina, and there's
Look,
gators
they'll
in this
come
little
up.
water
yeah.
feature thing they had.
I mean, you could go in there, pay to get in there, and they got real big ones and stuff.
is there a sign that says like "Don't feed the gators" and stuff?
I'm
is
sure.
It like,
yeah,
Probably.
is it like bears
And
or I don't know.
it's
There's a cool restaurant, and I think it's Okeechobee, that you buy the little gator food and you sit in there and toss it over to them. It's pretty cool.
many tourists have lost their dogs.
Heck
The little dogs, just being stupid, walking their dog out there on a leash. Turn your back for a minute. There's the
Or
leash.
unleashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
no.
There's the leash all by
They're not
itself.
tiny. They're like 3 of me, 8-9 feet long. They're
Yeah.
humongous.
Oh, the gators.
Like in
they're big.
Okeechobee,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
whoo, they'll just be sunbathing on the bank next to a canal, and you're just like, that thing survived a very long time.
The biggest one they've had out here, they have it stuffed now. It was Oscar. He's I don't know
Poor
how big he
Oscar.
was, but he was Huge.
Cheers to Oscar.
Cheers.
All of my friends growing up around here back in, the 70s, 60s, 70s, you turn 16, got a job. A lot of them got a job at the swamp park, as
Sure.
tour guides in the boats and, just general work around, 16-year-old boy's dream,
Yeah, drive a boat.
It's a paying job, and
Yeah, sure.
we got so many funny tales about it. But I used to take my buddy out there who worked out there. I used to go down and get some Maryland fried chicken for lunch, and I'd bring him a box of chicken for lunch, and we'd sit out there and you had to be careful, I remember one day sitting at a picnic table eating that fried chicken, and here came a gator crawling out of the water,
I mean, people will be like, "Oh, they
Scary.
can't hurt you. They're more scared of you and you are
Yeah.
them." I'm like, "Listen, dude, that's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's a dinosaur. You saw Jurassic Park? That's like one step away from Jurassic Park."
And if they get hungry, they're
Yeah.
gonna, usually
messing with it.
a gator ain't gonna,
They can run 30 miles an hour.
And I
for a
can't.
short
I
ways.
can't.
Yeah.
You have to zigzag when you run away from them.
Yeah, I'd be alive.
They're not
Oh,
good on
that's
the
what- that's how
turns.
you
There'd be a lot of screaming and throwing shit just at it. Like, where's my pocket knife? There's a video right there.
That Black Mountain Jamboree pocket knife to use.
Yeah, right.
Good stuff.
Shout out Black Mountain Management.
Yeah. Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her and David Helmers and John Smithwick started Black Mountain Management together because they all three had been working with artists, a singular artist, and it's like, hey, let's put our minds together. It's do a collective effort. So it's been great, and they're all music fans. They're connected in the music industry at some level. With Tiffany, he had been the president and director of the Master Musicians Festivals for 11 or 12 years. So, I mean, they all had some connection and a foot in with the music industry. So it made sense. And it's not just, let's see how much money we can make, with these artists. It's more like, let's build this up
I think
together.
that's the key right there.
A collective effort, and that's all I can ask for.
Sweet.
Versus worrying
She
about
sounds real busy. She was filling me in on everything that she's doing and has done. I was like, wow.
Yeah, so she's new to artist management, much as I never had a manager, so we were both kind of new at that part of it. But I felt so comfortable agreeing to sort of enter into that professional relationship with her because we'd become friends a little bit, up to that point. But I felt comfortable because I knew that she would work hard at learning some of the things she hadn't had experience with on the artist side of things, whereas she had a whole lot of insight and experience on sort of the festival thing, which is those are great gigs for a band to get. Like, you play music, like, yeah, it's cool to play at cool venues and have a little bit of a crowd, but then when you like get on these really cool festivals, like low to mid-level size, that's feasible to get onto. You got a lot of eyes that are and ears that you may not have crossed.
Yeah, and that's really the people you want to be playing for that really love the music and instead of just.
So it's nice to know that even though she's green and in the realm of like artist management and booking sort of tours like this, she had that connection with the festival world and that kind of networking. And Seth does too. Seth's like put on events and has done some festivals and booked the music, so he's got a lot of kind of good insight as well in that realm.
Yeah, I've worked a lot with the bluegrass community up there in Kentucky. There's the International Bluegrass Music Museum in Owensboro. They do a Romp Festival every year, celebration of bluegrass and roots music. So lots of great musicians coming through that way, and some diverse stuff too. I think this year they got old Bruce Hornsby coming up to headline it, so it'll be a good time. Yeah.
What do you do as a part of that?
When I'm not playing cello or bass with Eric or some other Kentucky musicians, I help a lot with running sound for different groups or just helping organize shows, making sure, sound check goes smooth and everybody's comfy and giving it the best they got on stage. Make sure you got black towels and cold water.
Black towels and bottled water. That's it.
The rider.
The rider
Yeah.
request.
The old rider.
We've got a pretty solid rider.
Yeah.
Some towels and water and drinks, and then some Miami sausages. At least one can.
Yeah,
Sausage.
some snacks.
Some snacks.
That sounds
Snacks.
pretty easy compared to some of them I've seen.
Green M&Ms.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't feel that good about myself yet. Eventually, I'll be asking for real silly shit.
I think that that's kind of tends to be like they sit there and say, think up things to put down just to see if
somebody's paying attention.
somebody will adhere to it.
To be honest, man, if you just have, a space to chill, like a green room
Yeah.
or an area,
Yeah, that's
and some water and some food.
That's all people
that's what
really care
most
about.
artists care about. Maybe
that's
throw us
true.
a few beverages, but other than that, like just, don't treat us like we're a hassle. It's like,
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. We're in the car, 5, 6, 7 hours, and then we get out and in front of all these strange people we never met. And
then you got nowhere to go hide.
You got to change in like a closet.
This one's got a diaper changing station. I can probably put my pants on it.
Yeah, I could probably.
Dressing
Lock-
rooms
is there a lock on the door? No. Well, who cares?
That portal right over there is your dressing room.
There it is, right there. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a spot behind the drum set. Let's go. And yeah, that's honestly. I mean, everybody's got a rider just to have like for example, John's a vegetarian, so we want to make sure we have some options. Ben's got some dietary things that maybe not spicy food or certain. It's like a couple things like it's great to have it so that way the venue gets the rider and hey, if they look, be like, oh, well, I can grab a couple things, throw it out there. But like the big time touring bands, their rider has a day of the week and the menu.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think it's pretentious, but it's actually because they might be on the road for 30 days and they know on Tuesday they're going to get tacos. On Wednesday they're going to get salad on so that way the venue offers that so you're not eating
You don't want pizza
hot
every
and
day.
readies,
Yeah.
6 days a week, right?
You're not getting the same thing. all
we're
the
not
time.
touring for 30 days or nothing, but I've seen some riders on the booking end of things where it's like, yeah, that makes sense now, having been on the road before. It's like, yeah, totally, it makes sense. You want a variety and hopefully nutritious somewhat.
Yeah.
It's easy to eat unhealthy and drink too many beers while you're out.
We've
on the
had a
road.
pretty good run. This time was catering.
Yeah, good.
Some
Good
solid
mixture
stuff.
of stuff. Yeah.
The Iron Factory that we played at in Athens, it was like I think it was
Oh,
their
it was
first
good.
show all year. But
It
yeah,
is,
they did. It was one of those like hibachi places that just brings you like the whole spread of like the kimchi and then that special like bulgogi and seared chicken stuff.
It's good.
It was
Yeah,
tasty.
it sounds good.
It's like, man,
Yeah.
we're not that important.
You familiar with that place? Is that a new place?
What was the name of it again?
Iron Factory.
Iron Factory.
Iron Factory.
Yeah.
2 doors down from the 40 watt.
I'm not. And
They have a cool patio. Like the restaurant, you kind of have to go like into this patio that's shared with the restaurant next to them. So on the street, like 2 doors down from the 40 watt is the other place that's in front of the Iron Factory. The Iron Factory's in behind it. They share a patio, and then the door's kind of down into the patio.
Sounds a lot like that.
So if you're
place.
just kind of on that street,
used to be
you wouldn't
called
necessarily
something.
see it, I don't think.
me and Connor, I think we ate near the 40 watt, and it was like a little patio area.
That could have
It was
been
something pig. No, that wasn't that.
I don't know. There's 2 restaurants right there side by side, so could have been either one. But yeah, it's
Maybe
cool.
I
It's cool.
I could have been there.
Town like
Yeah.
area, square, not square.
Remember
everything was
Called
real
Caledonia
Caledonia
right there. It's really cool.
Close.
Caledonia's.
Oh yeah, it was. They said the Caledonia was like behind us or something.
Is
but it
that
was-
right? That's what I'm thinking.
It was
Yeah.
like
Closed
within
down
a
during
yeah,
all
stone's
this.
throw away. Yeah.
I didn't know if that place was replaced by the Iron Factory
Got
or
you.
something.
Close by. Yeah.
Just nearby.
Yeah.
We were just up there recording at Tweed Recording School, and
Yeah, I think we walked by that. Yeah, there's a recording school there. We got around the town a little bit the next day. found our way to the donuts on demand shop. You order a donut and they put it right in the fryer in front of
Yeah,
you.
what was it called?
Wow.
Zombie donut.
Zombie donut. Yeah,
What did you get on yours?
strawberry glaze and Oreos.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Sounds
great.
good.
What's the zombie?
That's just the name.
That's the name of the
This
donut
is the name
place.
of the donut place.
Oh, that's the name of the donut.
Yeah.
place. Okay.
Yeah. I think I got a
finger.
gummy worm and fruity pebble one or something like that.
Yeah,
Living on the edge.
living on the edge, man. Tour life.
No regrets.
Yeah,
Well, you guys want to take a break and come back and play some music?
yeah. Let's do it.
Something in my brain won't let me stray. Something in my veins gonna find its way. Something in the water taught me how to pray. When that cold black water finds its way into your veins, you'll never be the same.
This is Eric Bolander, accompanied by this asshole, Seth Murphy, and this is Cold Men. The only side to coal mines, the top side, the fresh air, the family. You spent your whole life living on the short side, a puppet on company strings. Take all of your wishes, your thoughts and your prayers. Lay it on the whisper for cold men who just don't care. Cold men who just don't care. A young girl full of dreams and aspirations sees her daddy full of pain. She wonders if the family seeks salvation, but why aren't the bills not paid? Take all of her wishes, her thoughts and her prayers. Lay 'em all on the whisper of cold men who just don't care. Cold men who just don't care. Tell 'em about it, Seth. Take all of your wishes, your thoughts and your prayers. Lay 'em all on the whisper. Cold men who just don't care. Cold men who just don't care. Cold men who just don't care. Here's Montgomery Hill, our newest single. wasn't just to pass the time. Some of the days we spent along the ridge on the county line, up there with a whispering wind. Days got longer, our minds were free. Lean on my shoulder, we'll drive till the sun could be seen on Montgomery Hill. Where we lost ourselves on Montgomery Hill. Said myself, take me way back when. Montgomery Hill. Put my bags on the tailgate. Said, son, you'll do just fine. Hit the road up to Beckley. Boarded on my first flight. Screams and the sweat ran down my spine. With no regret, home was always on my mind on Montgomery Hill. Where we laughed and lost ourselves on Montgomery Hill. Said to myself, take me way back when. Montgomery Hill, where we lost ourselves on Montgomery Hill. Said myself, take me way back on Montgomery Hill, where we laughed and lost ourselves on Montgomery Hill. Said myself, take me way back when. Montgomery Hill. Montgomery Hill. Thank you. All right, let's do one more. Here's a new one called Smooth Finish. Pour myself another glass of bourbon. Try to wash away all this hurt. The things that crossed my mind for certain are the memories left behind that old curtain. Will it go down smooth as the one thing I thought I'd never lose? It seems so far from the ending, I can't keep pretending that it's you. Whoa, no. Will it grow into a habit? Something I don't need, but I gotta have it. Why can't we just pretend that this thing won't ever end, but it's through? know it's through. Know it's through. Driving down this long, lonesome highway, see the same old signs every other day. My favorite stop really isn't on my way. Think I'll swing on by for a drink anyway. Will he go down the smooth? There's the one thing I thought I'd never lose. It seems so far from the ending, I can't keep pretending that it's you. Oh no. Will he grow into a habit? Something I don't need, but I gotta have it. Why can't we just pretend that this thing won't ever end? But it's through. I know it's through. Know it's through.
Pillow talk.
rain.
Purple rain. Dun,
That'll
dun.
bring us back in.
Purple rain. Purple rain. Can you hear the strumming? Purple rain. Purple rain. Dun, 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 dun. Only wanna see you bathing in that purple rain. I never wanna be your weekend lover.
And we're back.
I've never heard that guitar so good.
Man, that's pretty good.
Pillow,
Is that
pillow
a vintage?
guitar
Is
with
that a
Bolander.
vintage guitar, or is that a?
That's pre-war.
That's one of those two-sided guitars, though. You just flip it around. Just
That's right.
you know,
Different
have this one tuned different
Yeah.
and flip it around and
The backside's
keep
an
on
open knee.
yeah. This is drop D. This is drop D here. Flip
Well,
around
folks,
stand.
it's about that time again for another Tale of the Week by Uncle Dave Griffin. And this one I chose.
Well, they're looking at you like they don't know what we're doing.
Oh, I'm in.
Oh,
I'm in. it.
yeah.
I'm in. it. I'm ready for this.
Let
Tale of
me-
the week.
Tell us,
let
Uncle
me
Dave.
let me explain to y'all.
Explain it.
It's Tale of the Week. It's I did a 2.5 year blog, weekly blog for 2.5 years, and I ended up getting a little publishing deal for
This is pretty cool.
for a small a book. That's what you do. You sell those for people that like to read in the toilet.
Yeah.
And
In case they run out
Toilet
of
scripture.
and they get to the end, they say, out of toilet paper. They do. It's very convenient.
I like it. I like it.
But in honor of our guest from Kentucky, this is the tale of the week that I chose this time. Back during my stamp selling days at the Waycross, Georgia post office, my fellow window clerks and I were visited quite often by a local dressed in Salvation Army women's clothes. Not too terribly odd until you stop and consider that he was a 6'2" male with shoulder-length sandy blonde hair. And before I go any further, let me say that I'm a big proponent of to each his own. Let your freak flag fly. Do your thing as long as it don't affect me. This guy was different, though. Instead of quietly going about his business, he used his disorder to prompt, provoke, and precipitate reactions from customers and workers at the post office. One of our window clerks, Tom Barnes, nicknamed him the Shim because he couldn't decide if he was a she or a him. This moniker stuck and inspired me to go home one evening in 1997 and write a song about him or her. The first two lines of the song were, he's the first cross-dresser in Waycross. And for this small town, that's news. When he gets in front of a toilet, my God, that man's confused. So it's most definitely a novelty song and one that I only played occasionally. On the weekend of March 30th, 2012, I was invited by two of my singer-songwriter buddies from North Georgia, Levi Lowry and Fester Haygood, to perform original songs along with them on a program called Singing in the Swamp, a weekend of original music. The first night we were on stage at Waycross Restaurant and Bar LL Creek. When I arrived, I spotted a couple whom I mistook for locals, striking up a conversation with Pat and Penny Jameson, just like I knew them. They let me run for a while before finally introducing themselves as proud Levites, fans and followers of Levi Lowry, all the way from Noblesville, Indiana. That night, I knocked the dust off my old provocative song called Shame on the Shim and had two new devotees for life in Pat and Penny from Indiana. The next evening, we took our three-man songwriting showcase to Captain Stan's Smokehouse in Woodbine, Georgia. Before the night ended, one of our traveling companions had fallen off a bar stool, taking a pretty good lump on her head in the process. Somebody called the EMTs, prompting a visit from the local police department. They informed us that we could take our injured friend home with us, provided none of us had had anything to drink. Yeah, good luck. It was clearly evident that everyone in our party had been drinking, except for Penny Jameson of Noblesville, Indiana. So we placed our wounded warrior in Penny's car, and once we crossed the Still River Bridge outside of Woodbine, we pulled to the side of the road, swapped the battle-scarred bar stool victim into a safe seat in the back of my van. A couple of years later, Penny called to see if I'd be interested in playing a houseboat festival that she and Pat hosted on Dale Hollow Lake in Burkesville, Kentucky. A 3-day music festival, living on houseboats on a beautiful lake. Are you kidding? To quote Mark Knopfler, that ain't working. From September 5th through the 7th, 2014, I was introduced to the serene splendor of southern Kentucky and a cast of characters that I've come to know as dear friends. My wife and I roomed on the stage houseboat, sharing space with more Indiana natives, Joel the sound man for the weekend, Pat's brother Scott, Kevin, and a banjo player named Jeremy. When Jeremy whipped out that banjo, I thought we was in the cast of Deliverance for a minute. But as the weekend wore on, I came to realize that Indiana and Georgia ain't a whole lot different when it comes to country boys who love good music and hard partying. Dale Hollow is a large man-made lake built by the Army Corps of Engineers in 1943, covering parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. Primarily used for fishing, it's also a favorite of water skiers, vacationers, and of late music lovers. I've been fortunate to return year after year sharing the houseboat stage with stellar songwriters from Nashville, Atlanta, and Athens. My beautiful friend Lana Loback, who passed away way too soon 5 years ago, helped me fill a houseboat in 2015 and managed to do the same the next year for another talented Waycross songwriter. This guy, Sean Clark of the Pine Box Dwellers. She is loved and remembered each year by the musicians and attendees of the Dale Hollow Lake Music Festival. Because of the COVID pandemic, our last visit to Dale Hollow was August of 2019 and featured a lineup of return performers that I count as lovely accomplices in this business of music. Cody Ray Bates, Jason Ace Davis, Lala Deaton, Nicholas Jamerson, Lawrence Nimmons, Jeannie Peterson, Shine White, and newcomers Brother Smith of Lexington, Kentucky. If we ever get back to a normal post-pandemic Dale Hollow party atmosphere, then many of our music-loving friends from Waycross and Blackshear will be happy to recommend it as a relaxing, sunbathing, party boating, soul rejuvenating, spiritually feeling 4-day getaway. A church service is held on Sunday, with a dose of alcohol and a slice of decadence on all the other days not named Sunday. Even now, I'm counting down the days and pulling out the lyrics to Shame on the Shim, another little slice of decadence that endeared me forever to Pat and Penny Jameson and landed me on a houseboat on Dale Hollow Lake. The end. Well,
The end of the whole show.
Dale Holler.
You got us
as
canceled.
they say in Kentucky, that was Dale Holler.
Dale Holler.
That's right.
I like that sticker on your guitar case out there. It's a big yellow sticker with the words Holler General.
Shout out to Jimbo Valentine.
Yeah.
I was dying laughing. He's a buddy of ours, does a lot of artwork for us. I mentioned earlier today.
Yeah.
He lives in Huntington, West Virginia. Good
Awesome.
dude. There's a good music community up in there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we have certainly enjoyed having y'all. Appreciate you stopping by and enjoyed the music too.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
so
awesome.
much.
Great.
Thanks for everybody working on
Sunday.
this and
Yes, sir.
everybody down here. And yeah, appreciate it. There must
Play
be
us
something
out.
in the water.
Yeah.
All right, I'll play you out.
Play us out.
Why don't the wind blow me away?
Until next
Why
time, folks.
don't the wind blow me down?
There she goes.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
When the cold black water finds its way across through your veins, it just might seal your fate. It just might seal your fate. It just might seal your fate.